It's time to look at June's tarot and oracle card readings. So get your tarot journals, get into that fuzzy headspace, and let's get started. Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you haven't met me yet, I am Leesa. I'm a certified tarot consultant, and on this channel I do lots of tarot related videos like this pick a card reading. I also do meditations and tarotscopes and other things to help you make your life amazing. And today we are going to take a look at the month of June and our month ahead reading for that. So while I am going ahead and getting set up, go ahead and start getting kind of, like I said in the intro, in that fuzzy headspace. So you are going to need to tap into your intuition here in just a minute. We are going to be picking a card from Brian Froud's Heart of Fairy Oracle. So we'll be taking a look at that in just a minute. But we're going to be looking at things like, what are the energies around you in June? What is in store for you in regards to, kind of the whole month in general. But this month, we're going to have a focus on the idea of love. What things do you need to really focus on in the areas of love? What's coming your way in regards to love? And this could be love in regards to another person. It could be love in regards to yourself or projects or passion things that you have going on. So definitely want to make sure that we are spending at least 1 month really focusing on that. And I like that idea for the month of June. So, all right. What I'm going to ask you to do in just a quick second here is to go ahead and pick one card for me. So slow your breathing. And I am going to show you a few items here. Okay. So what I have are just 3 river stones or river rocks. Okay, the first one is striped. The second one is sort of this light tan color. I don't know if you can see some of the striations there. And then this one is sort of a speckled gray color, but these are all just river stones. Okay, the month of June for me, we're definitely heading into summer. It's getting very warm here in Virginia, so this kind of makes me think of the water and makes me think of June. So what I'd like you to do is take a deep breath in and make a determination which one of these 3 cards and stones is calling to you. Once you make that determination, the timestamps are down below. While you're there, if you have not subscribed, please make sure that you do so that you do not miss out on any of the readings. And if anything else, make sure you give a thumbs up. It definitely helps. So if you picked the striped stone, we're going to start with you first. So that'll be the first timestamp. If you picked the tan one, we will do that next. And then this gray one at the end. So I will meet you there. All right, if you chose the striped stone, then this is your reading. And let's see what we have for you. Okay, we have the card of the rocks. And this particular card, look at his face. He's so discontented. When you see this card, or when I see this card, it's kind of a reminder to make sure that, you're putting forth whatever effort is needed to make the best reality for yourself in June. So this also kind of lends itself a little bit to laziness. So if you kind of are having those feelings kind of right off the bat with, I'm feeling kind of lazy, or I'm feeling like I'd rather have, wait for someone else to do a job for me. That is exactly what we're trying to avoid. So keep that in mind throughout the month of June. I think I'm just getting this idea of needing to make an effort, making a push to make your own, best, existence happen, not just waiting for other people. So All right, if you are new to my readings, guys, we usually do a few different decks for the month ahead. So I have 3 decks here as well as a final oracle reading. So we're going to start by taking a look at the energies that we have in play for this month, kind of seeing what's here and what we can pull from the months before. Okay, great. So guys, very first thing I'm seeing for you for June, I'm seeing a lot of opportunity for you to kind of think outside of the box, seeing a lot of opportunity for, and things really allowing you to be able to do so, breaking the mold, stepping away from things that maybe haven't worked so well in the past, or just kind of looking at things with a different light. And in fact, there's a lot of internal stuff, probably emotional type of stuff, or even emotional baggage that you're going to be able to kind of slough off, or at least make a decision on. If you feel like you have been weighed down by things that have needed some sort of resolution, but it's been difficult for you to make a decision on things, that is kind of what I'm seeing, that you're going to have the ability to move forward, probably from kind of the world being turned on its head, or looking at things in a different type of way. Coming out of May, and this is great, because coming out of May, for many of you, you may have been actually fighting to try to get some sort of normalcy or balance in your life, or making sure that things are running a particular way because people are expecting them to be a particular way. This is the month for you to kind of just kick that all off to the side and say, forget it. We need to just, wipe the slate clean and move on from there. So I think that is fantastic. Let's take a look at some of this. This is my first love focus card right here. All right, so very first thing I wanted to look at, guys, is something more in regards to kind of self-love and your kind of internal focus towards yourself. So taking that love and turning it to yourself, here's what I want you to do. Everyone has that list of things, whether you've written it down or not, but you have it in your head, that list of things about yourself that isn't good enough, that you don't like, that you wish you could change. Okay, you need to stop with that. What you need to do this month is start looking at those things that you do love, that you do like, that you love about yourself. So that is what you need to do this month. Focus on your positive attributes. Ask your best friend, what do you love about me? Just tell them, say, hey, listen, I've been dealing, you don't have to say it this way, but I've been dealing with a lot of negative self-talk, or I've been talking myself down. I need a better internal monologue. What is something you can give me? Give me something I can work with. What is something you like about me? Other people tend to be much nicer to us than we are to ourselves. So just keep that in mind. But that is my first kind of love focus card. But these are fun, honestly, so far, just with the idea of being able to, kind of break that mold. So let's take a look at the love piece, but in regards to other people and some of the opportunities you have just in general coming at you this month. Okay. So with other people, wow. Okay. This is the month for you to be able to rework or reconsider a relationship that either you thought was dead and gone, okay, or has been sort of like in a like on repeat, or like skipping, like a CD or a record would skip, right? Where it's like it's not going anywhere, but it's, it needs to move forward. This is kind of the month for you to take that time to sort of revamp and review and reconsider. And perfect with this type of energy, looking at something in a different way. So I would say when it comes to your opportunities with love in regards to other people, think about how you can, take one of those relationships, or maybe many of your relationships, and start reevaluating them. Are you stuck in a rut? If you are, how can you get out? You have an opportunity this month, if you do reevaluate things, to kind of get out of that particular piece. I also love this. This is a great opportunity for you this month to work on something new that makes you passionate about it. So I wanted you to kind of think about love in regards to, projects or passion projects out there that you could have. What are things that you could fall in love with? I want you to find something that is not related to your day-to-day money-making work. I want you to find something that you absolutely love, that is a passion project for you, that you could spend tons of time on perfecting. I want it to be something that you need to do repeatedly. Whether it's like practicing an instrument or practicing art or just doing something repeatedly, something that needs practice, and spend a lot of time on that this month. That is where you should focus, I guess, your love in regards to kind of external things. What is something that you can spend a lot of time focusing on that way? We're going to wait on this until the end. Right now, guys, I want you to think about the 5 people that you spend the most time with, or that you plan to spend an awful lot of time with in June. Okay. And just keep those people in your mind. We'll be getting to that in just a second. Okay. Interesting. All right. So taking a look, just getting back to getting away from this sort of love idea and just to the general energies. One of the things I'm seeing first and foremost for you is this idea of that energy that I want you to kind of push away from you, is this concept of sort of sitting around, sort of lounging around, waiting for something to happen, waiting for something to change, when you could be actually, going out and getting it done yourself. The Empress is also very much a card of, it can be, when it's flipped on its head like this, can very much be a card of action, but also action that ends up dealing more with yourself and more about, getting what you need out of a situation. So I'm seeing a lot more of this being reflected here. Whatever it is that you need, make sure that you're taking the time to push for that and act on that. Those 5 people that you have most in your life and that are there in your life, I would say, when it comes to their behaviors towards you this month, just be really aware, because all of them, I think, are going to come at you or act to you or towards you in a way that they feel is wise and is helping you a lot, but some of them are going to be misguided in their judgment or the way that they're thinking about things. So keep that in your head. Not all of them necessarily, but just, if someone is giving you guidance, make sure that you're following through with thinking about things yourself, right? I think, once again, make sure you're not just letting someone else steer. Make sure that you are making your own decisions, the things that are right for you. Okay. When we look back at the month of June, well, first of all, guys, I'm seeing a lot of reverse cards here. So what that means to me is it could be, a bit of kind of a bumpy road in regards to things. But this is a month, I think, for really climbing out of some of the issues that maybe you've have had accumulating throughout the year, and then suddenly June is kind of that month to kind of maybe slough things off or kind of pull yourself up and out of things, which is going to be excellent. Now, you can't just sit around and wait for that to happen. You're going to have to make these things happen yourself, but this is definitely a good month for doing that. Now, want to look at one last card. So I'm going to say go ahead and slide to the Oracle reading. It'll be in the timestamps, and I'll see you there. All right, if you picked the tan stone, then this one is for you. And we get the Lady of the Leprechauns. What a beautiful card. So this is an interesting one, guys, because leprechauns themselves, and there's a little one down there in the corner, they tend to be very tricky. And so there's always a warning with this card, and it kind of goes along the ideas of, be careful of what you wish for, because whatever you wish for may just come true, and that's kind of that thinking behind that. So there's a bit of a warning there that's happening throughout the month of June then. So what I would take that to mean, and kind of the way that I would fold that into your upcoming month is, think about the things that you're actually laying out for yourself. What are you laying out for yourself? How do you make sure that, you're not laying the ground for something to come your way that is really actually not what you're looking for? So just keep that in mind. So be careful what you wish for. All right, so we're going to take a look, guys. If you haven't been in one of my readings before, we have 3 different decks we're going to be working with, as well as an oracle reading at the end. So we're going to start first by looking at some of the energies just kind of flowing in and out of the month for you. We're going to look at love, of course, some of those things that you should focus your love on this month, and of course, you know, some of the people around you and whatnot. So okay, interesting. So this month, guys, right off the bat, anytime I see the Ace of Swords reversed, I see it as a period of, kind of a, you know, life has their ups and downs, right? So I feel like this month for you is one of those months where internally, you may actually have a lot of struggles kind of going on internally, with some, you know, personal things going on, but at the same time, what a beautiful and wonderful card in the energy around just supporting you this month with this Queen of Pentacles, and it's just such a beautiful card. So the good thing, guys, is even though, you know, this could be a fairly difficult month, just in regards to you internally trying to deal with I mean, it could be anything. The Ace of Swords is such a big energy, but just this idea of, you know, maybe, you know, work is difficult or relationships are difficult or whatever. There is such a strong nurturing energy around you, which is very, very helpful when you're struggling a bit. Actually, coming out of May, I can actually see sort of an up and down. And for some of you, June might actually not feel as good, because May actually could have been for many of you really, really good. It looks for many of you that May was a very stable month, or almost a celebratory month, and so June might almost feel kind of blah compared to that. Now I want to take a look at the first kind of card that I have focused on love. And the love card here, I want it focused internally. I want you to focus on yourself, okay? And here's kind of what I would like for you to consider and to focus on when it comes to yourself and the way that you see yourself. I want you to take a bit of time and consider in your head, or even look in the mirror and look at yourself and think about kind of the judgments or the ideas that you have in your head about yourself, the things that you believe about yourself, those permanent, I've always thought this about myself, I will always think this about myself. And I want you to kind of see if there's a way to kind of change your thinking on those. Some of those are really positive. I don't want you to change something that's positive, but I do want you to try to take some of those things that you've said, you know, this is just the reality for me and I don't like it. And I want you to try to change that. Look at this guy's face. I mean, he looks, to me, I don't know, he looks sad. We want to flip that upside down. Make that frown a smile. But take some of those things that you refuse to move on and see if you can kind of shake up your beliefs on that. Okay. I want to look at love in regards to other people, love in regards to kind of passion projects, and see what we get here as well. Interesting. Okay, wow. Ace of Wands, Ace of Wands. Okay, I wanted to take a look at kind of passion as it relates to other people, and you have something fiery that could start this month. When it comes to actual romantic love, if you are looking at you know, trying to get romantically involved with someone, this is a really good month. Whether you're looking for something serious or not, this is a month for things to be really fiery and super passionate, which I think is awesome. If you are looking just for love in other people in regards to friendship or whatnot, once again, you know, there's sparks in friendship, right? It's a fiery month. It's going to be a fiery month for that. So, whatever friendships you have, kindle those relationships. Make sure that you are kind of doing what you can to encourage those relationships forward. Take a leap of faith, guys. This is a good month to take chances when it comes to that. We're looking really positive. When it comes to things that you have kind of personally, passion projects, whatever, this is my third card that I want kind of focused on love this month. I want you to take a project or take an idea out there that you can focus your attention on that has absolutely no purpose other than trying to make yourself feel good. Okay? This isn't one that's going to help other people. This isn't one that's going to necessarily advance your career. This isn't one that's, and nothing like that. I mean, this is something, I want you to focus some attention this month. Focus your love and your attention on a project or something, an afternoon, something that is completely and 100% based on something that's going to make you feel good. Spend some time just on yourself, and everyone else can just be pushed to the wayside. Okay, so think about that. Spend some time doing that. I want you now to think about 5 people in your life that you feel like you spend the most time with, or that you feel like you will spend the most time with in June. And we're going to take a look at them. We're also going to look at some of the energies that I want you to kind of try to push away from you and also pull towards you. So keep those people in your head. We're going to come to this card at the end, so I did not forget that. Interesting, this card is coming up twice. So here is what I'm kind of seeing for you. This is a month where, and I'm sort of seeing this with the Ace of Swords. I'm seeing this a bit here. To me, this looks like a month where there are some things where I feel like you might be caught unawares. There is going to be a tendency for you this month to kind of go into things believing that you're 100% prepared, when maybe you're not. So what I would almost suggest for you to do is make sure that as you're stepping into the month of June and just throughout the month of June, be aware that you don't necessarily know everything when it comes to the situations that you're stepping into. Be prepared to have to play things by ear. Be aware that things may not turn out exactly the way that you were planning or hoping. And sometimes that can be a good thing, but you need to be really flexible this month. Okay, so keep that in mind, and maybe double down on your prep when it comes to, if you have something really big coming up, make sure you're really prepared, because there is kind of a, hey, you may not be prepared for this. All right, let's take a look at those 5 people. Oh, good. Okay, thank goodness. This is, once again, kind of digging into this. So those 5 people that you have, they are really going to help you kind of tap into your internal strength throughout this month. And this is excellent because, like I said, there are going to be some things that are going to be a bit trying for you. But those 5 people are people that I definitely want you to lean on. So keep that in mind. When you look back on this month, we have another doubling thing here too. Lots of double cards, which is interesting. Looking back on this month, guys, and lots of ones. This is a month, a lot of new things for you. I'm seeing aces. I'm seeing the Magician twice. Something new, lots of new things going on this month. Things that aren't always necessarily great when they're new, but things that are going to be new for you. You're going to learn some lessons. You're going to be laying down the foundation for you to be moving forward and becoming just a better person in general. But lots of new stuff. But when we look back, kind of a bumpy road in some ways. I would say definitely rely on the people around you. There's a really strong foundation for that. Be prepared for who in the heck knows what, because you may not be as prepared as you thought you were going to be. So just keep that in mind. And once again, be careful for what you wish for. One more card to look at. Take a look at the timestamp below for the Oracle card reading, and I'll see you there. All right, if you picked this gray river stone, then this is your reading. And the card that we get for you is the Prince of Shadows. The Prince of Shadows is, I think they refer to him as like the bad boy of this deck, which is very interesting. So I think, for some of you in June, maybe you have, someone who's a bad influence in your life, or maybe you yourself are that bad influence, and, you have something that maybe you are, addicted to or can't step away from, or something that's, tying you physically up to something that maybe you shouldn't be. But I would always take this card as a bit of a warning, sort of a step back and kind of review your life. And throughout the month of June, if you can kind of move away from things that just aren't good for you, it's a good month for doing so. If you are new to my readings, guys, know that I do use 3 different tarot decks, and you can see I have a few right here. And then, of course, there's an oracle reading at the end. This month's focus is love. So we're going to look at the energy kind of coming in and out of your life, as well as some areas of your life to kind of focus love at, or that you will be receiving love from. So that's what we're going to take a look at. And let's see what we get. All right, let's start first just with the general energies that I'm seeing. This is interesting, guys. It's always interesting to me, guys, when I see a bunch of the same cards come up throughout many of the same readings. Okay, so this month, I see this month in general as a time around you that will facilitate a lot of growth for you if you are willing to let it do so. In order to do that, for many of you, you're going to have to really get out of your comfort zone in order to be able to do that. So June could be a month for many of you where you're feeling a little outside of what, like I said, outside of your comfort zone. But if you're able to do that, there's a lot of growth there that could potentially be happening for you. So that's, of course, something really, really positive. Coming out of May, for many of you, coming out of May, I feel like some of you on a relationship type of level, almost I feel like you were kind of pushed down or let down quite a bit coming out of May. Like maybe May you thought maybe there was something, actually romantically or in a relationship that is super disappointing to you. For some of you, it's not necessarily about a relationship, but it's more about a disconnect or something that made you very, very happy that was like scissors, like cut off. Kind of seeing that as well. So moving into this month then, I see June as being better than May, but it might be a time that actually makes you a bit uncomfortable there. Just uncomfortable as in moving towards growth, uncomfortable. Wanting you to take some time to look at something that you can do to love yourself more. The first love, I want it to be inwardly focused, or at least focused on yourself. And I love this, this particular card, and I'm going to just kind of zoom in a little bit so that you can take a closer look. This month is a month for you to flaunt what you have. I want you to at least take one day, if not every single day, and take a look at what you have at your disposal and what you have as a person, and flaunt the heck out of it and be proud of who you are and show off who you are to the world. I don't care if you have 1,000,001 things that you dislike about yourself. I want you to find at least one of those things that you absolutely love and shout it to the world that you have this thing that is amazing and special to you, because that is where I'm seeing that self-love focus for this month. Find that one thing that you love, that you're comfortable kind of yelling about it to the world. Other love cards, let's see here. I want to see kind of some focus in regards to other people, focus in regards to kind of some projects or some external things that we can be looking at. Let's see what we get here. Interesting. Okay. So when it comes to love in regards to other people, some of you are going to have to make a decision this month. You can see this person is sort of balancing on this wire, and it looks a little precarious. Okay. Some of you in matters of the heart, if you are somehow or another splitting your emotional time between two people, and this could be romantically, or it could also just be, emotionally splitting your time between two people. This is a time where you are going to have to make some decisions. That is really what I'm seeing here. Having to make decisions between two people that maybe you've been trying to make it work, it's just not working. This month, if you don't make those decisions to make those changes, the world is going to kind of push those changes on you. So I would say be proactive rather than reactive there, and figure out how to better balance your time, or at least those relationships. Where I want you to focus your love or your attention when it comes to projects, I want you to kind of spend some time looking at your house and your living situation. How can you make your house and home, so to speak, a place that you love more. And it doesn't have to necessarily be something huge, but you do want to take some time to make sure that the space that you're living in or spending a lot of time in, and this could even be maybe your workspace, if you work in an office or if you have a place that you work outside of your house, where do you spend a lot of time? How can you make it better? How can you make it more special? I mean, this could be everything from, you know, paint on the wall, which could be something fairly large, or it could be something small, like can you bring flowers into the room, or have a room spray that just smells nicer when you're in there. But take some time, focus on something, make your surroundings something that you love so that you're happier being there. Okay. I want you now to think about 5 people, the 5 people you have in your life or think you will have in your life the most during the month of June. Okay. And we're also going to look at some of the energies for you to kind of push away and to pull towards you. Interesting, interesting. Okay. Because I'm seeing this other 9 down here. So, all right. So, what I would like you to do this month, the message that I'm getting here is that no matter how much you have, if June brings you some amazing things, I don't ever want you to be content with where you're at, okay? Always shoot for more, okay? Even if July 1 comes along and you're like, okay, I'm done shooting for the moon, fine. But during the month of June, I want you constantly to look out there and say, what else, okay? I was at a recent conference and one of the speakers said you should always look out at the world and say, thank you, more please. That is kind of the action I want you to have and the reaction I want you to have this month. So thank you, more please. That is what I want you to say to the world every time something lands in your lap. That is amazing. When it comes to those 5 people, here's Temperance again. What is with Temperance this month? It just keeps coming up. All right, so here it is. Here's you. So at every moment that you are feeling imbalance, you will have those people around you helping you get more balance as you're pushing towards growth. Okay, so if you are feeling a little wonky, think about those 5 people. Those 5 people are going to help you get back to an equilibrium that feels good for you. Okay, so keep that in mind, especially if you're battling some things that are really difficult for you. Lean on those people. When you look back at this month is actually going to be a fairly firm foundation for you. It's a place for you to, you'll be able to look back at this month and be able to say, okay, you know, stability wise, I was able to set up some things that are going to help me in the long run. Okay. Also setting up things that are going to make you feel a little bit better about your own kind of way of making your own destiny. So those are the things that I'm seeing for you. Hold on tight, guys. I'm going to pull one more card. It's at the next timestamp, but if you stick around, I'll be right there. All right, so using the Animal Spirit Oracle deck, which I absolutely love. So take the reading that you have had thus far, and we're going to fold this last bit of guidance into it. Let me know down below which one of these stones you chose and which part of the reading resonated with you the most. I'd love to hear that. While you're down there, certainly give a thumbs up if you haven't done so already. It certainly helps the channel. All right, so one last bit of guidance then for all of us going into the month of June, especially with that idea and focus on not just self-love, but love in general. And we get the idea of chameleon spirit. And this especially is really leaning on some of those ideas that I've been seeing, and almost that idea of, you know, acting as if something were the case. Guys, I'm going to tell you this month, in June, fake it till you make it. Pretend, I mean, not in a self-destructive way, but act as though things are amazing even before they are amazing, and things will become amazing. That is what I'm seeing. Pretend that you are already where you want to be and see if reality doesn't rush to catch up to you. But that's it for today's reading, guys. If it resonated with you, I would absolutely love to see you here next month. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you next time.